Hi, I'm CB Smith-Dahl. I'm a director and camerawoman based in Oakland, California. And I thought I would talk to you a little bit today about breaking into the business. And by the business, I mean film, television, and streaming. There are a couple different paths into the business. If you ask 20 people, you'll probably get 20 different stories about how they made their way in. Some of those stories are going to be through friends and family. And if you have friends and family, or maybe it's somebody you went to school with or somebody you used to work with who's in the business, don't hesitate to approach them. Talk to them about how they got in and what you would like to do, and see if they can make an introduction for you. Word of mouth is always the best resume. The second way that you might think about getting into the business is through film school. And, there are several that are famous: USC, NYU, Howard, UCLA, Columbia. And those can be one way in. But I'd also encourage you to look at both your local community colleges and also any local programs designed to increase diversity in the film business. So in New York, you have Ghetto Film School. In Los Angeles, you have Inner City Filmmakers, among many, many others. It can be an option if you have the resources or are able to get a scholarship to go to one of those big name universities. But I always discourage people from taking on a bunch of debt, because income in this business is unpredictable, and it can be very stressful to be staring down at student loans. Many of the same professors who teach at the elite programs also teach at your local community college, and many amazing filmmakers have come out of places like LACC, Los Angeles City College. And so consider those as well. Another path into filmmaking or television or streaming is to look for a local group. You might find them on a social media site, you might find them on a bulletin board at a community center, but all over the country there are folks who are coming together to make projects for fun, for the love of it. And some of those projects do eventually get acquired and turn into deals. But even if they don't, it gives you an opportunity to meet more people, to network with them, and to also gain the skills of the trade. So let's say, for example, that you're really interested in wardrobe, in working in the department that decides what clothes people will wear. Maybe you even have some seamstress experience, and so you can work with a local film group, taking secondhand clothes and adapting them and making something incredible and futuristic with a $500 budget that you guys crowdfund together. Then that becomes part of your portfolio, part of your sample work that you can present to sort of move your way up in the business. Also, you get known among that group of people as somebody who works miracles with fabric and thread, and as they progress in their careers, they'll recommend you to other folks. I think one thing I should mention here is that there are many different versions of the business. Some folks are really interested in becoming famous. They want to be the next Spike Lee or Ava DuVernay, and that's a path in the film business. But some folks, they just want to do the work, and that's okay too. It's amazing how, as the technology has become affordable, more and more businesses, government agencies, schools are doing video production, are making films and telling stories and creating really compelling content. And so Hollywood and New York are not the only paths anymore. You can actually have a really wonderful, fulfilling career in the business, in creating content that is done on a smaller scale and not inside some of the big studio systems. Having said that, another great way to break into the business is to use a website like Film Connx. Not only do you have the opportunity to present the experience you have so far, but you can also start to see what other people are hiring for. You can look at job descriptions and start to understand, oh, I've worked as a production assistant on these 2 television shows that were for Netflix that came to my town, and I'm really, really interested in working in the grip and electric department, and I can start to see those job listings and what experience they look for. 2 more ways that you can find a way into the business. One is to work at a rental house, to actually get a job, cleaning equipment, prepping it, sending it out to film productions. It will also give you good references. And another way is to actually approach productions when they come to your town. So maybe you're eating at a restaurant with some friends and you notice that the restaurant has a mobile vehicle and they're prepping meals to go to a movie set that happens to be in town. They actually work as a caterer for local shows. Or shows that come to you locally. And you can approach the kitchen and say, look, I would love to work with you guys. I'm really interested in catering, and I will come volunteer for you on a movie set, serving the food, so that you can see what my work ethic is. Not everyone's going to take you up on that opportunity, but do know that there is a tradition in the film business of people working for free. When I first started in Atlanta and LA 25 years ago, it was not uncommon for people to volunteer on productions for anywhere from 6 months to 2 years, to build a reputation, to build a collection of experiences and work and skills. Fortunately, there's less of that now because it really is a gatekeeping that happens when people are expected to volunteer for that amount of time. It's not financially feasible for a lot of people. And so there is less of that happening now. But I've always encouraged people to think about what makes sense for you and your family. Does it make sense to go volunteer for a weekend? Does it make sense to go volunteer on a whole show for 4 weeks? It can be an entry into the film business, but you have to figure out what makes sense for you, make only that commitment and stick to it. And just know that your work ethic, once people see it, your ability to bring value to the team will carry you far. No matter what way you choose to find an entry into the film business, you have a bright future ahead of you. I believe in you, and I'm excited for you.